my son.
Welcome
even
back
me.
to the Loop. And we are a bold and fresh look at our lives here in Kenya. And one of the things that, is really seminal about our lives here is our relationship with our children. And the special bond, especially between girls and their dads. That's what we're celebrating here this evening. If you're a dad out there and you've got a daughter, you're a guardian, you have a daughter, you've got, a girl in your house, send us the selfie of yourself with that special person who is your daughter or the person that you're taking care of as a girl, and we'll celebrate them. That's what we're doing right here. Look at them, because so many WhatsApp messages coming through with the pictures. Me, I'm so excited and so encouraged by this relationship. And here's another picture. Ah, look at that. Ay. Look at the pride on that dad's face. Huh? Here's another one. Yeah. And here's, look. Oh, look at that. They're even machi. Here's another dad with his daughter. Remember, wherever it is that you are, you can send these pictures. And wow, amazing. Here's a dad, two girls. Does that girl look stressed to you? Doesn't. Here's another one. A dad celebrating his daughter. With a kaboshori over there like that. You can see. Here are some more pictures. This is such a special bond. Girls and their dads. And here's another dad. Looks like he's on a road trip with his daughters. Here's another one. He's taking them face painting by the lake. Here's another dad. Oh, look at her hair. That's one of the things. Like, if I had a daughter, I'd just be plaiting her hair. Here's another dad. Oh, brilliant. There you go. And we're going to keep showing these pictures and really want to celebrate this special bond between dads and their daughters. So keep sending in those pictures. The WhatsApp number is on the screen right now. But we have got a panel of amazing dads here in studio speaking to us this evening. Valentine?
I have a hard question for you, gentlemen. We've seen with COVID-19 and the pandemic and people being in close quarters, money, we've all been impacted economically. Life is difficult. And we've seen that domestic violence has gone up. Children at home, mothers at home were not safe. And sad to say, it's you men that are beating us. Now, if you've been the bad father, is there reconciliation? How do you even begin? Because there's a dad out there who's like, boy, I wish I could hug my daughter, but she won't come close to me right now.
Okay. So yeah, I've definitely done unfair things to my girls. I have an incident in mind. I was holding a cup of tea and my daughter, who's 6, came jumping around and she bumped into me and I spilled some of it on myself and I yelled at her. And it was horrible because it was quite shocking for her. And it was bad. I felt bad at the time because I'd been burnt by tea.
Right.
But afterwards I was like, wow, that really was uncalled for. I could have taken that a bit more calmly. She's a 6-year-old. She jumps around. That's what she does.
She's happy to see you.
Yes. So I should have handled that differently. I had to sit her down and I apologized. I told her, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shout at you that way. I should have handled that differently. But yeah, that's happening. The irritation levels are way up.
They're quite high for everybody.
Oh, yeah,
yes, it's not just the men. Even us women. Yes.
But more so the men. They say when people are stressed, the women, they get this hormone that they begin to reach out for relationships. It's interesting, when you're stressed, you begin to reach out to relate. As men, we don't want to relate. At that point, we want to run away, we want to go to the gym. Right. And do some other things. That's how we let that stress out. So for me, it was the same case. I never shout. My personality is very cool, calm, collected, right?
Yes.
But anyway, this day, I think I was tired, I was stressed out. There's a lot of stress during this season. And I was just really stressed out. And my little girl came and I was trying to tell her to do something. I'd repeated a few times. Usually we say once and you do. Now this was several times. So I think I lost it. I raised my voice. I didn't exactly yell, but I raised my voice.
For Pastor S, it was
cool, calm, collected.
But she got very scared because that's very unlike me. So she went to the mom and said, what happened? I'm very scared about Dad, for the first time. So later I had to call them because we were all around the table, call the entire family and apologize. and say, I take responsibility, I am sorry, that's not how we talk here, I shouldn't have talked like that. And all of them, you know, we said, okay, we forgive you, Dad. And we said, let's end there. But just the confession of it made her more comfortable. She talked to me about it later. So I think as men, we should swallow our pride. Now that we come to the gym a lot, it doesn't fatten. So swallow your pride and go to the gym. But talk to your children, especially the girls. The fact that you can apologize, then gives them a picture that men can apologize as well.
You know, it's true because we've grown up with this perception. I love these pictures because they're showing African men can be affectionate. And now I'm hearing African men can apologize. Duncan, are you also apologizing?
I mean, that's powerful. Pastor, your approach in terms of bringing people together and talking about it. I mean,
and not shying away.
It's a very mature approach. You know, we've come through a very, we're still in it. This was a very tough time. Before the closed schools, for example, we're all homeschooling our kids. I can imagine, in my case, so 3 kids. We know that this class, you know, 4 times a day, it's going to be on Zoom. I can't leave the house until I know the kids are on. So it's, well, at the same time, trying to juggle other things. And I remember one time, I couldn't wait for the class to start, so I had to leave. But when I came back, I found that they hadn't logged in. This was a Zoom session, so you get the link, you click on it.
Yes.
And one of them hadn't logged in. This was actually a baby. And I remember I got livid because I'm here thinking, look, we've got COVID going on. It's stressful. Trying to make things work. Some of us jobs have been affected.
Right.
But
Gyms were closed for a while.
We still had to be teachers, and I've got a lot of respect for teachers because of that.
We all do that.
Exactly. While still being the parent to make sure stuff happened. And so I think I lost it. I actually did lose it. And for that, it really affected my daughter. And I say this because my wife is quite a disciplinarian as well. Yeah. So which is good. One of us has to be. And we've had a discussion around this. So she takes a lot of those roles. But she can tell daughter, my kids, 10 times. She can raise and yell, the whole neighborhood can hear it. But let Dad come in and just say, stop it. Another bass, stop.
Is that what I need in my house?
It's very effective. So she can yell at them for half an hour. But a few strong words from me can be traumatic. And I think that's something to think about when it comes to discipline and how
you use it, because it can be very effective, but at the same time it can be harmful.
Yeah. But now I need to learn about the apology bit.
The apology bit.
I could blame our culture.
Okay. We have a question because Duncan and Mongera, your eldest daughters, I think, are 12.
Yeah.
So, in the not so distant future, the doorbell will ring. And there will be that young man from the estate who has come looking for opportunity to do homework. He's come with all sorts of excuses.
A physics textbook.
A physics, he's come to borrow a book. He's come to return. Those days it used to be you're returning DVDs or cassettes or something. So are you ready to deal with that at that point? Because, you know, we're all young. We all did it. We all know what we did, so I think we're all experts around the things young boys will say as, you know, to try and get to spend time with the daughters. But are you ready for that?
Duncan, are you ready?
Look, can you ever be ready? But I think what I can do is try to impart decision-making and confidence ability to my daughters.
Okay.
And just like anything else that's risky, you know, sometimes we caution our kids too much, especially girls. Sometimes, you know, okay. I'm not going to let...
No, I like that. I'm really listening.
The neighborhood boy with the physics book. And you know, it's physics, but we need more class than that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd want to see how they handle it at the same time, because I know eventually these young ladies need to socialize. Eventually, hopefully they'll find the right partner, hopefully they'll get married. And that's going to be under our watch, whether we like it or not. Yeah. So at some point, we also have to trust that they'll make the right decisions and show them that we trust that they'll make the right decisions.
But how do you prepare a young woman to decide this is the guy or this one isn't worthwhile? I see women, I'm in my 40s, I see women my age still struggling. You know, like they can't tell. The guy's being nice, but you're like, yeah, but have you asked the harder questions? How do you pass that on?
Yeah.
Mongera?
So I think the part of it is how the relationship with the father was. So depending on how that played out for somebody who's older. For my girls, and Mike, to answer your question, that has actually happened. True story. Someone actually rocked up to my gate.
Tired.
I want to speak to...
These boys are bold.
And I was like, okay. So what I did is actually, I told him, come in. You want to talk to her? Come and talk to her. She's in here. Come in here. So I'm just trying to avoid this thing of him feeling that he can just call out my daughter at any point and, you know, they can go wherever they want, yeah? You want to talk to my daughter? Fine, but do it out in the open. Let's be transparent about it. And I think, you know, my daughter is not old enough, you know, I don't know what her relationship life is going to be like in the future. But I'd like to believe that how I treat her will be a good model for her of how men should be. I would be like a benchmark for the men in her life when she gets to the age where she's able to choose for herself. I think that for a lot of women growing up, that relationship was not probably very solid, or maybe the father wasn't modeling the kind of healthy behavior, intergender behavior that you'd expect. And as a result, you know, she doesn't know what to expect. She doesn't know what is the right way to be treated. She doesn't know what it means when a man treats you well. So any treatment you get, you appreciate it. Any attention you get, you appreciate it.
Right.
But
someone calls you beautiful, you're just like,
you're like, you
what?
swoon. You know, I've been told that there's this thing of, you know, date your daughter, take her to these fancy places, you know, take her to a fancy hotel, so that when someone comes with flowers and chocolates and stuff, she's like, yeah, I've seen that, I've been there. You're taking me to where? White Sands, I've been there.
Okay.
So she's not moved by all this pizzazz and the flashiness, right?
Okay, you're talking about daddy issues, really, and how they pave the way for poor treatment of women. Pastor S, that's a heavy question. Let me ask you, what do you think about daddy issues? Are we cursing our girls from the, you know, before they even leave the house and saying, ooh, daddy issues? Yes.
And I think we can see that through the stages, because children go through these stages. So when they are explorers, before they are 5, they're trying to go out and explore their world. During that time, they need to know it's safe to do that because dad is around and mom is around. So I can explore. And they begin to get that permission. If they get scared by the authority of dad, especially during that time, because the voice of a man is very powerful to a girl growing up, as you said earlier. So we shouldn't scare them at that point. If we scare them, then they're scared of exploration and they'll stick to themselves. And in the future, they'll find it hard to explore relationships.
Right.
And then they get to the next stage, which is around 5 to 8, 9, which is the lover stage. That's when they get an emotional birth. Even boys do the same. So boys get very feminine. They want to hug all the time and all of that. And that's a time for dad to get to bond very closely with the daughter during that emotional time. But what you're teaching them that time is people skills. How to say no to someone, how to say yes, how to understand the motives of other people, stuff like that, so that you're preparing them for the future. Then they get to 9 to 12, preteen, when they're asking, who am I? That's when dad issues can crush a girl so badly.
And this is, so this is where your daughters are? Okay.
Yeah. I have a 10-year-old, I have an 18-year-old. I'm a little ahead. Okay. But, I mean, I've talked to girls who were told one statement by their dad when they were 9, 10, and they still remember it when they're in their 40s. Talked to a lady, I was with my wife, for context, and we told this lady, oh, you look really pretty, and she was in her late 40s. And she began to cry. She said, no, I'm not pretty. And just to discover that when she was 9, the dad said, you're very ugly, get out of my sight. Oh, she's in her late 40s, and when anybody approaches her and says you're pretty, she hates that person because she feels you're playing with me. So just dads to know that you're a prophet. What you tell your child, especially your girl, 9 to 12, when they're beginning to learn who they are, that could affect them for a very long time. And of course, into teenagers, girls begin to pull away from their mom, because every girl pushes their mom away during that season to find themselves, because they can't grow into femininity under the shadow of their mother. And during that time, again, dads play a very important role. So I think the statement is, dads, you are prophets to your girls. What you tell them positively, they grow into it. What you call them negatively, they struggle with it for a long time.
They struggle with it. Okay. Mike, do we have response? That is so powerful, Pastor S.
We have so many responses because so many pictures coming through, and we really want to celebrate you and your daughter. So, of course, continue sending us those selfies. We love the pictures. We love the confidence. We love the warmth in the pictures. And I'm so encouraged to see so many dads so proud of being parents and, of course, spending that kind of time with their daughters. Remember, the WhatsApp number is still on screen. Continue sending in those messages. We'll be back after this short break.